Imagine having a brilliant, life-changing idea for business. Something you know your neighborhood desperately needs and could benefit from. Something that could change your family's financial future forever. You have the passion, the grit, and the vision. But when you sit down to actually take that idea, put it to paper, and make it a reality, you don't know the basics. You don't know how to write a business plan. You don't know what credit score you need to get a business loan. And you have absolutely no access to startup capital. For millions of people living in underserved, low-income communities, this just isn't a hypothetical scenario. It is a daily, frustrating reality. We love to talk about the American dream and how anyone can make it if they just work really, really hard, right? But the truth is, talent is distributed equally, but opportunity is not. Today, I want to talk about why we are failing aspiring entrepreneurs in these underserved communities, the systematic root causes that are holding them back, and a realistic solution to bridge this gap through targeted financial literacy and entrepreneurship programs. Let's start by looking at the actual problem at hand. There is a massive systematic wealth and opportunity gap in low-income communities and a total lack of business ownership. According to data from the U.S. Census Bureau and the Federal Reserve, minority and low-income individuals are significantly less likely to own a business. And when they do try to start one, they face staggering rejection rates from traditional financial institutions. This creates a brutal cycle. When a community doesn't have locally owned businesses, wealth doesn't stay in the community. Money gets spent at giant corporate chains and it immediately leaves the neighborhood. This means fewer local jobs, fewer mentors for the next generation, and zero generational wealth that is being built. Instead of a thriving local economy, you get neighborhoods that are essentially economic deserts. People are trapped in a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to pay for basic living expenses and constantly stressed about financial security, which is not something that anyone should have to face. Ambition is completely suffocated by a lack of resources. So, why is this happening, you may ask? What is the root cause? It boils down to two main things: an education system that completely ignores real-world financial literacy, and systematic barriers to capital. First, let's talk about school. Our traditional public schools educational system teaches us advanced algebra and chemistry, but it completely fails to teach us how money actually works in the real world. I know this firsthand because I had no clue how to manage, utilize, save, invest, and multiply my money once I left high school. Most students graduate high school without knowing how to manage credit, how taxes work, or how to invest. In low-income areas where parents might already be struggling to survive and can't pass down financial tips of investing strategies, this lack of education is devastating. Second, the traditional system is inherently stacked against low-income entrepreneurs. Standard banks look at things like collateral, huge credit histories, and generational wealth before they lend you a single dime. If you come from a background where your family couldn't afford to own a home or save up massive nest eggs, you have zero collateral to put up for a business loan. Traditional investor paths like the EB-5, Visa programs, or elite venture capital networks pour billions of dollars into wealthy executives and tech startups, while the everyday mom and pop shops in underserved communities are left with absolutely nothing. The system is structurally designed to fund people who already have money, leaving everyone else completely locked out. This brings me to the solution. We cannot just sit back and watch this cycle repeat for another generation to come. We need a two-pronged approach. Mandating real-world entrepreneurship programs in our schools and building community-driven microloan networks. First, high schools and local community colleges need to completely overhaul their curriculum. We need to mandate practical business development and financial literacy courses. Imagine a class where instead of just reading a textbook, students partner with local business owners to learn how to launch a brand, build a digital marketing strategy, and manage cash flow. This gives young people an entrepreneurial mindset before they even enter the workforce. How about a leg up in that department? Second, we need to bypass traditional predatory banks by expanding community-driven microfinancial programs. Organizations like Kiva or local community development financial institutes, CDFIs, provide small, low-interest loans based on character and community trust rather than massive collateral. By connecting local investors directly with neighborhood entrepreneurs, we can create a sustainable ecosystem where community wealth funds community growth. Implementing these programs isn't just a good idea, it is a necessity if we ever want to see true economic justice. By prioritizing financial literacy and giving grassroots entrepreneurs a fighting chance, we aren't just funding businesses, we are funding dreams. The American dreams, to be exact. We are giving a single parent the tools to break a multi-generational cycle of poverty. We are giving a young person a reason to stay in their neighborhood and build it up, rather than trying to escape it. The next great business leader, the next innovative brand, or the next staple neighborhood business is sitting in an underserved community right now, waiting for a chance. Let's give them the resources they need to turn their ambition into reality, break the cycle, and build a secure, thriving future for all of us. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.